between Egypt and Indonesia. I know a lot of you are watching around the world. It might be late, but here in Romania as well. Cheer for your team for the win. Egypt is at a match point against the defending champions here, Indonesia. And as you can see, already setting up in the early part of the game, putting the pressure on these junglers. They don't want to let Super Ken get out of hand here. Notice real quick, as we mentioned, Super Ken, it is not what we saw from the Philippines yesterday when Lancelot was locked in. This is the killing spree.
Alpho receiving some damage, looking for the puncture, looking for an ultimate. It's not yet available for Super Ken, but onto the pokes, getting in vision. Okay, early on in the river of Egypt and Indonesia. We have 3 quantum charges present here. Nice for Egypt, as you call an athletic strat. Look at that, first blood goes to Super Ken, taking down one Alpha on the EXP lane.
So that's tough. First blood there. They're going to go, though.
A knock-up trying to utilize the burst here. Maro, though, will be the one to be the shield here for Egypt. Gonna back away. Not yet time to attack.
See, moments like that is where it gets a little spicy, especially if you have those level 4s available to you. For Smile specifically, just the fact that he's on this Kadita pick, rough waves. We've seen it do immense damage with the Petrify, not to mention Divine Judgment still in the way here for Maro. It's a good game plan, but they need those level 4s. This should come up in time for this turtle. First one of the game, a couple seconds away here. You're gonna see they need Huda to get that purple buff to contest this. So Super Ken, knowing the timing, gonna go ahead and start it up, try to get this down as much as possible. The rest of the team's gonna go ahead and get the vision they need, and they'll see how it unfolds and plays out here.
A level gap, the knock-up though, burst onto Vin. Maro secures the kill. On the other hand, Indonesia has more ways of taking this turtle for themselves. Objective for a kill. A bit of a trade there though for Egypt.
A trade worth taking at this point. Again, if you're not confident enough to fight those early battles, you might as well let it go. Oh, Huda though.
He's on the chase, saw Ken. Look at that, cutthroat just connecting over to that Brody with a response. Vin using heavy spin now. Uda might be in trouble, dropping down low. That's to recall. Being utilized here. Vision has now been activated by Indonesia. Maro though trying to get back for a retreat. Level 3, no pull yet for this Kaja. A window of opportunity for Indonesia to slow down progress of Egypt right now.
Man, look at this. Super Ken is level 7. Huda's level 5, right? So there's already this gap forming here, at least in the jungle. Still going to be going.
It's not yet 4 minutes. The snowball of this Lancelot right now could mean business. Look at that, the pull onto the turret now being suppressed. Finn as well trying to escape this. He won't be. Speedy secures the point. Egypt as well slowly looking for opportunities here for the overcommitment of Indonesia right now. Being in the struggle, Uda using the steel cables as well, trying to get a peek out of Indonesia.
Okay, so at this point, still relatively even. Yes, there's a couple more kills here for Egypt. They're doing exactly what they have to do, utilizing this Kaja pick. Now that he's level 4, every time that Divine Judgment ultimate is available, you can expect some type of action, right? Flicker as well being online. He doesn't necessarily need it, but it makes it a lot better.
Yeah,
now as they just poke here, setting things up once again, no one fully committing, but they want to keep the pressure.
Wall, Maro now being blocked to retreat back. Alpha on the other hand, in the back line, heavy spin, pinning down Uda now, Cerisa kills the kill, as well as the purple. Objective taken now, Super Ken trying to get a grab here. Alpha on the other hand, now trying to hold on. Maro with the pull. Will this be a saving grace for Egypt right now? Damage, will it be connecting to a takedown? Translating into a retreat back. Maro as well, securing a safe space back. Cerisa though, no mana, just being broke down by Alpha. Look at the burst, using the rough waves, trying to slow him down. Cerisa going back, forced to recall. Finn as well though, trying to clear some waves in mid.
Oh man, Ceriso's trying to get out. He's in a bad spot.
Behind
He's
enemy
quite
lines.
tanky, yeah. So he's just gonna nonchalantly walk away. But that whole interaction between these two teams was just like tanky boys versus tanky boys. No one's gonna fall. They're all just kind of slapping each other like a wet noodle. And that's the downside, right? When you have this kind of lineup.
Wow, flicker and a heavy spin being used to escape. He's low on mana. Vin, what a box out right here. Zone out by Indonesia. Securing this turtle possibly might go to their hands. Maro won't do anything much here. Using the Ring of Order, trying to poke down Maro as well. That's the pull. That's the fall. Look at the damage right onto Super Ken. Finding an avenue to take him down. Falling to his first death of the game.
That's what they needed to happen, right? Yes, the turtle was secured there. Get that flicker out as well from Reno, but they got the turtle secured for Indonesia. Trying to find the wins where they can. Huda, a lot of times, he's just trying to catch back a little bit here. Again, he's gapped a little bit from Super Ken. Not too much. He's working his way back, and as he continues to put pressure around the map, that's best case scenario for him. But look at what Vin is continuously doing. He's just being a nuisance, right? He wants to force Huda to not have a great time trying to just get this most important buff, the purple buff.
Speaking of purple buff here, objectives now being stolen slowly, but Uda secures his own purple. Now on the mid lane, we're looking for Alpha here. That's the knockup, plus the ultimate with the burst. Finn might fall down, use the dash out for safety. That's the wall. That's the grab up onto Alpha, secures the point and the kill for Egypt. Now this time around, they might clear some waves, but down bottom, Socken slowly taking a peek out of the defense in the first turret down bottom of the gold lane.
Again, decisive action here from Egypt, especially Alpha finding that pickup there. Still relatively in the economy though, it's pretty much even, right? Indonesia doing a great job at keeping it there as they continue to get objectives. Now the kills, yeah, are going in favor of Egypt. They're quite, adamant on that. They're finally going to get this turret on the top side that they've been working on for a while. So they got a little bit of space to work with now. But as this all translates to that third turtle, the last one of the game here, you can expect some form of 4-on-4 fight, most likely.
That's the pull, that's the breath of the ocean. You name all the bursts right now. 3 members present from Egypt, taking down 1 isolated member from Indonesia. Now on eyes on the first tier 30, trying to get a pull. A knock up onto Maro, they'll force out the flicker. Will the ult with Brody connect? No, it won't. Safe distance for Egypt though, a retreat back. A space for Indonesia to take this turtle again.
Yeah, they should be able to take this. That'll secure themselves 3. But look at what's happening here. Maro does not have the divine judgment. They have to just maybe call this one off. They get the information, it's already taken. But look at Vin, he's going in, conceal play. He wanted to probably put some pressure there once again on purple. But ultimately, Indonesia, yes, they're down these kills. They're getting the objectives they need, keeping themselves in the game based on economy. Huda though, going for another play, but look at all these members here from Indonesia. They got to be careful.
Speaking of be careful now, Vin using the heavy spin for safety. He might not be taken down there by Egypt. Use an ultimate smile, committing the rough waves here, looking for a chance to isolate Indonesia now 9 minutes in.
9 minutes into the game is what is going to be crucial for both these teams into that first Lord fight. You can see them setting up Alpha. Oh, the torn apart memory. Good thing for the split. Able to keep himself together.
Good regen.
And it's only a matter of time before Socken gets to the items that he needs on this Brody, to where those couple, hits and the marks and then the torn apart memory will result into a kill, right? He's only pretty much got, I believe it's the Malefic Roar, the last time we took a look at the items. There it is. Now also on the flip side, you have Speedy getting his second item. He's already got the Blade. He's got the Endless Battle as well. So in the damage department for both gold laners, they're kind of where they need to be at this point. You still got a little bit till that first Lord comes up, but you can expect looking for an advantage with a pick-off from Maro.
Good.
Or Smile.
Yeah, good peek though from Moreno. You utilize that Astral Echo, trying to check on the bush there on whose members of Egypt here are present. Meanwhile, trying to circle around here. Smile though receiving damage from Vin with a flicker. Trying to bend down Huda. Still safe though. This time around, Egypt has eyes on where Indonesia is headed. Trying to gain control. Most of the turrets of Egypt now are still standing, Naisu.
Yeah, they have to, right? And now we're just seconds away from that popping up here. You're going to see this space advantage that Egypt does have based on the turrets being down. They've just got a couple. They're working on these tier 2s as well. And that's what Indonesia has to keep under control, right? How do you play around this? Because look at Maro, he's on the hunt before that Lord comes through.
Time to grab, Salkin out of the picture. Now this time around, Maro's looking for a way to pull this one. Knock up onto 2 for Indonesia, still looking just with the spams. First Lord of the game is up, 6-2. Still maintaining the objective takes here for both teams.
Yep, getting in position here. Lord now up. Both junglers meeting in the mid lane. Look
That's
at the damage.
The pull, knock up, bursted down Vin. Smile secures the kill here. Now with follow-up Chorizo though, will the wall charge be the answer though? Signing on to the kill. Super Kens receive another burst onto Smile with a save from the wall. Mara as well. Here comes the follow-up. Uda blocked, not crossing, and finding reinforcement for his team while he was chasing the
Huda.
one. Ken! He's still gonna go down! Super Ken! Uda finds one, but Saken with a trade down, not letting him go of that.
Big pickup there with Saken finding Huda. So that's just going to pretty much just stop both teams from committing to this Lord just yet, right? They've got to wait for both of their junglers to come back up here. It buys a little time for Indonesia. They needed this time to not necessarily make up for a huge gold gap. That wasn't really the case, but at least buy a little time, set things up a little bit more for Saken because he is a key damage component to their lineup. And here they go at it once again.
Immobilized, being pinned down on the wall. Cerezo and Vin with a tag team now. Knock up in the bit of the ocean with the rough waves. Now being bursted down too. Cerezo on the other hand being in trouble. Now Alvo secures the kill. Vin is now down, and Indonesia doesn't have one more extra pin, and even for the CC. They're not taking this objective yet, nice, so there's still more and more being cautious of this replay.
Wow. Look at that heavy spin. Great heavy spin there. I mean, this was just messy for both teams right there and fighting in that choke point position. But what's happening here? That Lord that came up at the 9-minute mark hasn't been claimed yet. 11.5 minutes in the game, right? It's going to level up here pretty soon, but Speedy goes ahead, gets the call, started up. Indonesia has to take care of some of these lanes. Huda now making his way here. They're going to get here in time to actually contest this most likely. They have to be careful on the placement. Look at Alpha trying to keep them at bay.
Speaking of being at bay, now Maro holding on to the front line, being blocked now by the wall charge. Now with the pin down, Maro is now trying to have a safe passage back. Alpha
he gets
with the pull. A great way of taking on Super Ken. Will the damage be enough? The Alpha in behind the lines now being immobilized. Oh my gosh, it's too much CC right now for Indonesia to fight back. Saken as well with a change of 1-to-1. Suda and also with a spin falls down. This time around, Super Ken is on to take down Maro, trying to use that Thorn Rose. This time around, still securing that purple for Egypt.
It's getting tough for Huda here. A couple of marks, even if it's 1 or 2, and then a torn apart memory takes them out of the game. And now they still are able to go ahead and claim a couple of these tier 2 turrets, right? You can start to see it for Indonesia though. The damage is starting to be there, but can they hold it together? Egypt are the ones controlling a lot of this pacing. And the fact is, once again, Maro, you're just waiting for it. Once that green light on Maro pops up, as it did, Divine Judgment is available, and you're expecting him to make a play. Whether he has the flicker or not, he's still able to do it. Smile as well. 2-0-5, mind you, with Lethal Ignition. He's able to find a lot of burst damage in himself alone, right? He's got the Genius Wand, he's got Divine Glaive now, and that's why it hurts so much. Concealed Play gonna come through. Who can they find? Right now, they're trying to pick the target here. They don't find anyone just yet.
Looking for a setup. There's a lot of pull, there's a lot of control right now for Egypt as well as Indonesia. Now they're eyeing on the second tier turret up top, taken down by Speedy. Now painting the map blue. This time, they want to push more waves into the base of Indonesia. Picking up the Ice King 1 for Moreno, though, additional slow by hit.
I think the biggest advantage here for Indonesia is, once again, the range that they can work from, which is kind of exactly what you have to do when you're counter playing into a Kaja pick, right? And you're trying to just avoid getting caught out. So distance is their best friend at this point. Now, as we get closer to this next Lord, should they be fighting, full force 5v5 for the Lord? Yes, but for the most part, anytime we see a Fanny on a team, you can expect some side pushing going on, putting pressure on a side lane so that the other team, in this case Indonesia, has to respond to the presence of pushing, right, from the lanes here. Because the great thing about Fanny is you can get across the map in a split second, right? So when this Lord comes up, expect that to happen. Some side pressure, Indonesia's going to have to respond, handle that wave, and most likely be around this Lord pit with a numbers disadvantage. Hopefully, either team is able to capitalize on that. You can already see positionings being made here, which we see a lot of the times, right? They're right where they need to be. Lord has now come up, and you see Indonesia making their way there. Super Ken also trying to clear it up. He cleared up that lane a little bit. He knows what the game plan here is. Now, who can grab this Lord? It will change the tide of this game. Indonesia needs it, though, gravely, because they have no turrets down. Not even the tier 1s right now. They need all the space in the world to work with. Yes, they've relatively kept it close with Egypt, but you don't have any turrets, you don't have any space to work with around the map. What kind of plays can you make? They're trying one here.
Alpha being trapped by the wall of
Maro.
Cereza, but this is go time for Team Egypt. Seeing the avenue here, taking down Vin. Suppressively pulled down onto the route. The damage numbers connecting. Cereza also with the follow-up with the knockup as well. How is Indonesia going to fight back this time around? And Sakin going on Madman right now. 6-1 and 1, and Indonesia finds an avenue and a takedown. 4-man down onto Egypt, and this is a Lord this time around.
Okay, Huda's gonna try to do the extraordinary, but you can see them slow down the Lord. They don't want it to get stolen. That last fight was a disaster for Egypt, and they know it. And with that, Lord secured here for Indonesia. Oh! Man, oh man, from bad to worse. Huda falls down there, a nice torn apart memory from Sakin. He's 7-1 and 1. He's massive here on this Brody. Look at this. You pulled the wrong target. That's all you had. Vin was waiting for it, and there went Chorizo with a wild charge to set everything up so well there in that choke point of a jungle. And now it's Egypt on the defense once again.
This time around, Vin coming from the back line. Force Speedy to use the flicker. Look at the damage. He's bursted down. Sakin secures the kill. And members of Indonesia now holding still, defending and still looking for a place here to take down this turret in mid. Egypt trying to defend. 2 members left, 3 members left. This is so grim right now for Egypt. How can they hold this? Look at that, Super Kenner onto the bush. Vin dropping low, has the immortality though. Look at that, the action from there. Alpha trying to buy some time. Still holding it, being blocked by the wall. With a follow-up though, Huda can't come through. Alpha as well, falling down in the hands of Super Ken. Indonesia on a damage display. Egypt now being forced to defend.
They gotta do something here.
All 5 members, Indonesia present, being bursted down. Immortality's been popped down. Look at that, Ring of Order with a burst. Will this be the answer for the defense of Egypt now? Waves pushing in, still holding through. Egypt, okay.
It's a cable show.
Things are happening. It's a cable show, trying to control more of the waves here. Wow. Still managed to defend Egypt, still standing.
Game 3, nearly 18 minutes in. From a point where Indonesia had no turrets, now they've got all 9 down just on that Lord. And what looked really good for Indonesia is now looking great for them, because they're in a position where they are driving this car into game number 3, into forward for this tournament, the lower bracket. They've been through 3 games already. This is their 6th game of today, and they want to end it here. Now, for Egypt, it's up to the pickoffs. They have to find it. We saw it earlier. It wasn't the right target.
Heavy spin now, being pinned down onto Alpha. Where's the response of Egypt now? They have a target from Arjun. That Sakin taking down 1. No pickoff, no divine judgment for Egypt now. They're on a pursuit. Signing through that objective. Alpha now receives damage, still surviving that though. Maro falls down.
This is what you're seeing once again, right? We're 30 seconds away from the Lord. Indonesia might even decide they don't even want it. If they can get another pick off here, they know they've got the numbers advantage. They might just look to end the game. Do they really need the Lord or not? They're the ones to decide. Lanes are cleared up. Huda now here had to go back to base. Lord spawning in a few seconds. Looks like they're just going to go ahead and call it. Maro again, 10 seconds away from being back up. Even if you get the pull, who do you pull? Because right now it's either been Chorizo or Vin, and that is not who you want to go for. With these immortalities online, with these winter tranches there and everything else, it's getting tougher for them to find out the pickoff potential.
Alpha in front of enemy lines, being taken down by Vin.
Alpha down.
Here's a response from Uda, trying to look for an avenue to seal this Lord with attribution. But the pin down with Vin. It's too much. Moreno takes down 1. Smile is down.
That's
Alpha is Speedy, and 3 members down for Egypt. They don't need the Lord. Indonesia has taken down 3 important members of Egypt, and right now onto the base. Will the damage be enough? Will the defense be enough? And no, it won't. Indonesia is on a mission, and they proceed to the next stage of this playoffs.